Good morning, everybody. This is Ray Gibson, and I'm putting this probably on my main channel instead of my book channel. But by the way, if you would, you can subscribe over here, and I may pop some videos up over here, maybe not, and like and share. So listen, I made another commitment to make a video this morning, actually at any time I felt like it. I did not want to disrespect Juneteenth, so I'm making this video the day after Juneteenth. I'll talk about that on another video. But anyway, I promised somebody that I would make this video because it's time. It's time, and I'm going to speak it in a language that everybody is accustomed to hearing me speak. I'm not going to be making this for the media. I'm making it for Americans. I'm making it for the LGBTQ plus and any allies that may be out there for us. And the reason why I'm making this is because the last time I spoke about this, there were over 450 anti-trans legislation bills. Now there's over 650 of them fuckers. They are coming at us. They're coming at us hard. They started out after trans children. Now they're coming after trans adults. And meanwhile, I'm fairly sure, absolutely positive, that the LGBTQ plus is going, whew. They're not after us yet. Yeah, well, yet. You know, I'm a product of the 1960s. I'm a product of one of the biggest transformational alterations of society in this country. And I'm tired of people playing their little self-centered, petty games about the state of the nation and who these GOP goons are coming after. I consider them thugs. They are liars. What they are telling the American people about us is a flat out lie. You know, they're trying to get us killed. They're trying to take away life, saving medicine for us, surgeries for us. You know, we're different than the rest of the LGBTQ plus because, well, there are some letters in there that are for transgender specific people, but we are about gender while all the rest of them are about sexuality. They can hide. We cannot, and they know this. Because of the fact that we have to get the medical industry involved in our care and our health care, makes us stick out like a sore thumb. And, you know, makes it known to a lot of different places who we are, and whereas the sexuality acronyms of the LGBTQ plus, they don't have to tell anybody where they're coming from unless they want to. So they're a lot lower key than the rest of us, than the gender part of the LGBTQ. LGBTQ, right. We are the T. the transgender, and there's a whole bunch of people that have thrown themselves under that umbrella, even if they don't belong there. And I don't care if you call me a gatekeeper because I said that. I don't care at all. I am putting out my experience, strength, and hope in this country, that everybody put down their little petty differences, that they stop sitting by watching us get desecrated, the rest of the LGBTQ plus, stop standing by silently and watching this. You know, I hang around black circles, not necessarily LGBTQ plus circles. And even though President Obama and President Biden have done some things for our communities, both black and I'll say LGBTQ, even though they really, like I said, the LGBTQ plus is just sitting back. Sorry about those noises going on in the background. I haven't figured out yet what they're coming from. But anyway, they're sitting back watching, just like the Caucasian race is sitting by watching black people get murdered, to get harassed, to get jailed, to get all of the things that have been going on for us for centuries. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of this bullshit. And what I promised somebody that I would say is that every LGBTQ plus organization needs to get together, organize a march on Washington, D.C. We don't want 5 people to show up. We don't want 25 people to show up. We want thousands to show up, including allies who don't mind making it known how they feel about us, because I know they're out there. They're just, everybody's afraid. Everybody's running every which way. I don't come from the afraid generation. I don't come from the cowardice generation. And let me back up and say something about the Biden administration. And let me say something about the Democratic Party. It is well known that they ain't got a backbone. You know, right now I'm listening to some trans veterans talking about being polite to these GOP people and trying to urge them to stop the battle that they have waged against us as a people, against me as a black man, against me as a transgender man, and me as part of the LGBTQ plus. It's time, folks. It's been past time. Black people need to storm on Capitol on Washington D.C. too. But guess what would happen if we did? They'd shoot first, ask questions later. But here's the deal with the LGBTQ plus. We could pull that off without people getting hurt. You know, the veterans might be willing to back and protect the civilians that are in the crowd. And I'm pretty sure the police would get involved too, if it was organized. If these million, I won't say that, that's exaggerating, but there's got to be hundreds of little organizations all over the country, probably maybe in the thousands by now. And everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody's being self-centered. Nobody wants to get together and organize something like this to let them know that we are not going away. We're tired of being bullied. We are tired of this bullshit, because it's absolute bullshit. And I don't think it's just about the 2024 election. I think they intend to hurt us in a very deep way, especially transgender people. And it's time that the LGBTQ plus got together. The leadership of these little organizations here, there, everywhere, all the little organizations that have told me they're too small to take on racist issues, they're too small to take on bigger trans issues, they're too small to take on LGBTQ plus issues. Well, you ain't too small if you all got together, would you be? I'm talking about GLAAD. I'm talking about all those big organizations that are just being silent. And I'm going to say this, even though it was a white thing that was meant to be very negative, but silence is consenting to this. Being nice and polite has gotten us in this mess. And I'm talking to you, some of you transgender veterans in TAVA. You know, I put out a very strongly worded article that I wrote the other day in that group. And I just knew somebody was going to jump up and say some shit, and that everybody who got afraid of the strong language that I said that was in that piece would, you know, be afraid of me and jump on the side of these freaking Democratic, left-wing, leftist progressives that are letting the GOP run all over them, and they have been doing that for 4 years. Going on 4 years. It's time to stop playing nice, people. And you know what? We can be nice and polite in their face in Washington, D.C. and start demanding that these doggone senators and House of Representatives stop fucking with us. I don't know when this is going to happen, because timing is everything right now. How fast can they organize something like this, and the leadership of all of these little organizations get together and stop their petty differences with each other? All of the veterans trans organizations, all of the LGBTQ veterans organizations, and then all of the surrounding civilian organizations in the country. And invite the allies, you know, the heteronormatives. Look, this would be something that could be on the scale of the Million Man March. I'm absolutely sure there's millions of us out here. How many would have the courage and the spine and the backbone to stand up and get out there? Hell, I'll go out there with my walker and my cane. If I'm willing to do something like that, how many others are willing to do something like this? But I'm a think tank guy. I am not an organizer. I wouldn't have first clue about how to get something like that together. And I'm not a leader of any organizations except my own, which I had to pull back because y'all let Facebook kick my ass and take my business out of service. So I'm not being polite. I'm not even being kind. I'm saying it's time to stop bullshitting, stop begging and pleading for them to do the right thing. And let's return to something that was going on in the 80s. And I was out there, folks, fighting for the LGB rights before all these other acronyms got it added. I was out there, and I'm willing to do that again. If people would just stop being all about themselves and their little, carving out their little niche in the country that isn't doing shit in totality. Yeah. Hell, that stands for, you know, black people as well. But again, I'm not talking to black people. I'm talking to everybody in the LGBTQ. Every single organization in the country needs to get together and figure out how we, long before the 2024 elections, long before that happens, for us to get out there and pretty much go back and research what happened during the 80s so that we can repeat something like that again. So what do you say? Aren't people tired? Aren't people angry? People are scared. They're scared out of their minds. They've got this defeatist attitude that our asses are kicked. Are they really? Are we just going to lay down? And I can't even believe veterans are talking like that. Really? War has been waged against us. You're going to play patty cake and nice with these people? They're insane. They've gone cuckoo. They need to be shut up. They need to be taken down a notch or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 or 100. And we're not going to do that by playing nice and watching us get run over. That's why we're in this mess. Because people are trying to play nice with politicians. Really? And fucked around and let our surgeries get taken off the table too because of this stuff that the GOP has cooked up. I knew it was going to happen. I said it 3 years ago. If we don't move fast on this, people, somebody's going to come take us out. You know, it's time for the young people to listen to their elders, middle age, whatever the hell you want to call us at 60 years old and up, because we was there during the civil rights movement. And if this isn't if this isn't good enough to stand up for your human rights, I don't know what is. I don't know what is going to move people in this country to stop hiding. We transgender people can't do it alone. There's not enough of us. And the LGBTQ, shame on you for just sitting here watching us get our asses kicked. We were part of you. Many of us came from, I came from the lesbian world, because that's what I identified as, you know, before I could figure out what the hell was going on with me. But I was out there fighting for your right to marry. You think that's not going to get taken away next? Same sex. I don't got to worry about that. All my ID has changed. All the way down to my birth certificate. So, but they're going to come after y'all too. The LGBTQ plus. You can run, but you can't hide. Not in this damn country. I'm sure there's some other things that I wanted to say about this, but basically it's about a march on Washington, D.C. This year, 2023. Get it together, people, before we just get run right off the table. And you know what? If the LGBTQ plus continues to stand by and do nothing, guess what's going to happen when it's your turn? Have at them. They didn't do shit for us, so, you know. This is the kind of petty stuff that I'm talking about that needs to be put aside and put down for something as big as this. Is that, yeah, in a lot of circles, the LGBTQ thinks that the T somehow, what's the word I'm looking for? Crap, I can't figure out the word that I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure if I went, well, I'll remember it after I finish the video, and then I'll flash it across the screen at some point. But we did not bail on you guys. You guys bailed on us. And it's time to put that away and just let's go for it. You organizer types, I know you're out there. I can be part of the think tank. I'm the think tank type. I'm not the organizer type. So I've said that before, but it was worth mentioning again. That we need to do something besides just sit here and wait for the hammer to come down on our heads and be politely asking them not to do that. They don't give a fuck about our feelings because they don't think we're human. Welcome to being treated like a black person. Because that's pretty much what's going on in this country about us too. So they don't care about your feelings. I think I said to the lady that was talking to me about that article I put in that group that fuck your feelings. This isn't about feelings. This is about survival. And since when do feelings have anything to do with survival, people? Veterans, especially y'all that were deployed. I wasn't even deployed, and I know that. Out there on the battlefield, it ain't about your feelings, is it? So stop sitting up here in groups talking like you completely forgot what it was like to be in the military, who you had to be in the military. Better take that yellow streak off your back. Stop being cowards. And if you're afraid to go out there, help organize it. Do something. Lip service. That's going to do nothing. We need to do something, not say something. Now, I'm saying something to try to get people to do something. Do something. Before we lose everything. Before the fascists take over this country and make it hell for everybody. I'm getting it from both ends constantly. Trans black. A lot of you are just getting it from the trans side. And then the LGBT is just sitting by watching. This isn't a TV commercial. This is life. This is our survival. Survival of the fittest. What you going to do? Sit back and think they're not going to just plow right over you. If you were standing in the street and they had a bulldozer, they'd run right over you and not even blink. That's how much they care about you and your politeness. Yeah. They'd back over and run over me because I'm trans, and then they'd back up and run back over me because I'm black. A lot of you would just get splattered because you're trans. I hate to make a joke about it because this is very serious. What is coming down the pike? They're trying to rip us. They're trying to convince the VA to bail out on transgender people. Access to HRT that we sorely need. Access to everything else that we need in health care. They're fucking with health care. Isn't it bad enough that they took Medicaid away from millions of people so that they don't have any health care? These people aren't playing, y'all. So when we gonna stop playing? When? It doesn't make me sad. It makes me mad that people are being mealy-mouthed about this. Vicious on the GOP side. Mealy-mouthed on all the other sides. So, march on Washington, D.C. or what?